Back inside PNC Arena on this Sunday afternoon, meeting number 190 between these two teams. Let's check out this afternoon's goaltending matchup. Anton Khudobin starts for the first time since he won in a shootout at New Jersey on December 23. Carolina's team defense is number 14. Tuukka Rask had 23 saves yesterday in a 3-2 overtime loss at home against Ottawa. Uncharacteristically, their team defense is number 18. Sit back and enjoy this one. Second of three meetings between the two teams. Boston won in Boston 2-1 in the middle of November. Jiri Tlusty, who had the only goal in that game, shut down by Tuukka Rask. A steal, Victor Rask. No relation. It jumps over the stick of Nathan Gerbe. You see it come all the way back in the Carolina zone. Brett Belmore, forechecked by Brad Marchand. Now it's loose in back of the goal. They take over in the person of Rask. The gap closed in on him that time nicely by Riley Smith. And now Brett Belmore for the Hurricanes, clad in their third sweaters today. Tries to wheel it out. Ron Hainsey coming off a strong game against Philadelphia. That 2-1 win Friday night. Now circling back is Elias Lindholm. Nice crowd on this Sunday afternoon at PNC Arena. Cross ice pass in the zone. Jordan Staal broken up by Louis Eriksson. And right now, this is Boston's best line. Carl Soderberg, Louis Eriksson, and Chris Kelly. Eric Staal to the outside. His shot detected by Tuukka Rask. Knocked down by Adam McQuaid. Returned from injury yesterday. Jordan looking for Elias Lindholm. Loose along the wall. A pinch by Carolina's Andrej Sekera. Adam McQuaid options along for former Hurricane Dennis Seidenberg. And out they come.
And because Chara started the game with Hamilton, the Stahl's first shift is against former teammate Dennis Seidenberg.
Jordan in control to the outside. Flushed out by McQuaid. It goes deep. Zdeno Chara, the Bruin captain, takes over. He turns it over to Jeff Skinner. Then he hooks Skinner, and Carolina will go to the power play.
What an early opportunity. I recognize it's only a minute and 32 seconds in, but Chara, key penalty killer,
2 minutes for hooking.
Causes a turnover. Skinner just coming back from the flu, so this is encouraging for him early. You're going to need your depth this afternoon, and Skinner's a big part of that. And the Hurricanes' man advantage goes to work.
And that man advantage is number 20, 18th at home. Boston on the kill, number 20. 19th on the road. Carolina 1 out of 12. In the last 5 with their power play, Boston has killed off 12 of 15 in the same time period. Riley Nash losing that faceoff. The Bruins attempt to get it out. They do. And you see it come all the way back, and Anton Khudobin's half of the ice surface here is now Carolina will start with Justin Falk. Through center ice on the attack. Falk hands it back for Victor Rask. Over the line. His pass goes deep to an open corner. Jeff Skinner gets after it for the Hurricanes. Broken up, a nice dump out by Patrice Bergeron.
Well, the entries for Carolina have not been the problem on this power play that has struggled. Nash is on the ice still. I'll tell you, he's using the second stick of his shift because I have the first one he broke off the draw.
Over the line now, gaining entry, Elias Lindholm. Victor Rask. He'll dangle. Skinner's shot. Deflects off Captain Miller. It goes wide, and now Daniel Paille will dump it out for Boston. Anton Khudobin now. We'll leave it there with that much time left on the initial power play. Andrej Sekera starts from his own zone. Through center ice, a spring pass comes all the way back in the Boston end. Adam McQuaid is there. McQuaid off the glass. Held in by Sekera, played outside and in by Ryan Murphy. And we get an offside. If the Canes score in the power play today, Caniacs who say the winning phrase receive a free Bowberry biscuit from participating Bojangles restaurants tomorrow morning. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Yeah, the Czech Tlusty talked to the Slovak Sekera about that last entry because Andre was trying to find Jiri. Jiri would have been in had offsides not been an issue. Hamilton with a good step up there, and he caused that pass to not be converted.
The Stahl brothers come out. Eric takes the face-off now, along with Jiri Tlusty up front. Ryan Murphy and Andrej Sekera man the points. Here's Sekera back in his own zone. Andrej Sekera now will crank it up for Carolina. On and off the stick of Eric Stahl. Played nicely by Louis Eriksson. Another offside.
Well, that was Sekera again. Instead of going to Tlusty in the middle there, he tries it wide, and Louis Eriksson, heck of a job swarming the offensive blue line. Good back pressure, and Bill Peters is very familiar with that because of what his penalty killing has done. I think Bill Peters is going to look to play Jordan against David Krejci. Here he's out against Kelly at the tail stages of this power play. But look for that matchup, Jordan against Krejci.
Now you keep an eye on those between benches today because the matchups in this game could be very interesting. Khudobin back to play it. Sekera. Final push on the power play as we see. Andre through the middle, over the line. Cloister of 3 on him. Eric Stahl, top of your screen. It's Ryan Murphy. Murphy at the point, off the body, off Louis Erickson. He brought it back in. Delayed offside. A touch up by Eric Stahl. We get the whistle. Let's take a look at the Rex Express Care. Injuries and scratches. Rex Healthcare, chosen for excellence.
I think it's as competitive as it's been all year because Zach Boychuk, I thought, in a very hungry manner, caused a turnover on the first goal of the game scored by Brad Malone against Philadelphia, but still finds himself on the outside looking in. So you have guys like, say, Chris Terry. I think that you don't need to have big games. Semin, Nestrashil, they skated yesterday, but I don't think Bill's going to put him in until they can clearly show in practice that they're up to NHL game speed. These are good problems to have.
The Bruins are totally healthy only for the 3rd time this season. Seth Griffith holding onto it. His shot pinballs wide on a tip. Getting to it is Justin Falk. Deep in his own zone, away for Jay McClement. McClement gains center ice. Feeds it in on Tuukka Rask. He'll reverse it off the body of Adam McQuaid. Captured by Pat Dwyer for a moment. Played by McClement. Hainsey with a shot. It deflects out in front. Good stick by Adam McQuaid on Chris Terry. And the Bruins will survive as they get it out.
Talk about a guy just back from injury. Is a key part. November 18th, McQuaid broke his thumb. Griffith there was not in the shooting lane on Hainsey. He's a young player with a high upside from the London Knights, and he should have blocked that shot.
Griffith had a goal against Carolina in mid-November at the Garden. It comes all the way back in. Adam McQuaid broke his hand in early November, has missed the last 18 games, and now it's carried out of the zone here by Riley Smith. He'll dump it in. Along the dasher, top of your screen. Brad Marchand on and off his stick. Hurricanes will cancel that and get it all the way back in Boston ice. Kevin Miller out of the University of Vermont. Lays it along, losing his edge on the forecheck was Carolina's Victor Rask. Patrice Bergeron to the outside, defended by Murphy. Ryan Murphy stays with him. Chara, he'll go deep. Down deep now, Smith a handoff. Marchand, Chara with a shot wide of a drifting Hudobin, who dives out to cover.
Well, Julian, a member twice of the gold medal winning Canadian teams at Vancouver and then Sochi, and boy does he ever love to match lines, and he'll be doing that today. And here's where I'm talking about it. Griffith, he's in the lane, but he's not. Now, he doesn't have the size that Jordan Stahl just did at the other end on Chara. The reason that shot went wide from Chara was because of Jordan. Seth Griffith, he's a player that has earned his status on the top line in Boston.
Undersized guy at 5'9", but great hands. Off the draw now. Out of the circle, Eric Stahl. Moves it along, back pressure from Carl Soderberg. He'll clear it in an odd hop off the netting. Played by Chara, support by Dougie Hamilton. Chris Kelly, the veteran, gets to it. He'll ice the puck in this scenario and will swing it back.
I think that Andre Sekera and Justin Falk are showing signs of finding their shutdown group. When you look in the last week, Crosby and Malkin playing on the same line. Didn't have a point. Bill Peters gave them credit. Giroux, before he was hurt in the game with Voracek, 2 of the top scorers, they didn't have a point. Now, Bill Peters gave credit for that shutdown to the Jordan Stahl line.
Face off as we see in the Boston zone. Jordan Stahl wins it back. Falk with a hammer chance. Stopped. No rebound given up by Tuukka Rask.
Excellent job for Tuukka Rask of locating that puck and Falk and getting it through. As with the help of the wingers, the Hurricanes get it back to the point. Falk's ready to shoot that puck, and I can tell you from where I saw this, I have no clue how Rask was able to locate it because there were all sorts of bodies between Falk and the net.
Back-to-back starts for Boston's #1 goaltender, who's been okay, but not like he was a season ago when he won the Vezina. Out in front, Milan Lucic will dance out to center ice. He, too, underachieving in terms of goal scoring. Out of the corner, Lindholm is on him. Griffith in support. Seth Griffith now tied up. Kicked along, back to the point. Broken up. Good play by Jordan Stahl. It comes all the way back in the Boston zone. David Krejci had 2 assists yesterday now. Leads the breakup.
Eric Stahl did not like that hit from Doug Hamilton. Gave him quite a look and then some verbal jargon with the Boston bench.
Out of the corner, Lucic back to the point. Torrey Krug. Krug now will wind it along. Krejci is there, broken up on the back check by Riley Nash. Jeff Skinner. Center zone, moved along by Chris Terry. Cutting on Kevin Miller. He'll set up a man, it's Nash. His shot shut down, the rebound. big. He gets help out in front, and it's tied up for a face-off. Brett Belmore forcing the issue, moving up from the defense. The chance initiated by Chris Terry. Excellent job by Tuukka Rask.
We're scoreless in the first here at PNC Arena on Friday. Jordan Staal returning to the lineup, logged 18 minutes of ice time and had an assist on the game-winning goal. His firstborn baby, Abigail Staal, was born 2 a.m. that morning. For our Geico quote, he talked about the adrenaline. He said there's a lot of things there. Everyone, and once in a while when you're on the bench, it's in the back of your mind for sure. It gives you the chills and excitement. Definitely keeps you going, guys.
That's right, Chantel. He got through the game, was Carolina's best player. We took that adrenaline rush and applied it very nicely now. Ryan Murphy with a wrister kicked out with a purpose by Tuukka Rask. And an altercation. Here we go. Brad Malone, Gregory Campbell. Campbell trying to jumpstart the Bruins. Malone doing what he has been doing for weeks as he pounds away on Campbell. They go toe-to-toe on this matinee. Brad Malone with a body blow. Another right hand, and that'll do it.
I'll tell you what, the two linesmen got in, McKelman and Brisebois, when Malone landed that last right. And the reason they did is because he landed a couple on a player who has been a mainstay and a very good player for the Boston Bruins. Watched right at the hash marks, tops of the circles, Malone and Campbell. And you know, Malone did this earlier this week against Brandon Pruss when Montreal was in town. He obviously got his first as well as a physical game against Philadelphia. His first goal, that is. But, John, the Bruins, this is like a half-day trip because they played at home yesterday afternoon.
Right.
Both President Cam Neely and General Manager Peter Chiarelli are on the trip.
Yeah.
So this is a very desperate Bruins team. And I think it's a great test from that standpoint for Carolina. Great job from Malone and Campbell.
Well, they're 5 points out of third. They're 3 points out of a playoff spot, and they're not supposed to be. So desperate times for the Bruins. And that's why the Hurricanes, if they have energy early, let's see where the game goes. Now, Nathan Gerbe broken up. Patrice Bergeron, Boston looking for their first shot. Bergeron defended by Ron Hainsey. Brad Marchand losing control, hunted down by Carolina's Hainsey. Toulouse attempted to get it out. He succeeds now in a second opportunity. Knocked down here by Dennis Seidenberg. He'll move it. In the Carolina zone, we see it at ice level. Belmore hit by Riley Smith. Now Hainsey. Closing the gap on him was Patrice Bergeron. Now it's carried out by Carolina's Jiri Toulouse. Moving up on Chara. Easily detected by Tuukka Rask, and now the Bruin captain will start again.
So Chara on the ice, not against Jordan Staal and Eric, so let's see how that filters down the next couple shifts.
Carl Soderberg pulling hard at Andrej Sekera. Soderberg back to the point. Dougie Hamilton, who's been shooting the puck a lot of late. Along the boards now. Chris Terry, Spring Skinner. Nash, who didn't see it. It goes between the wickets of Torrey Krug, and now he gets it from Tuukka Rask.
Just as I say that, as soon as the puck leaves the Boston end, Chara gets off. He's so smart knowing who is on the ice for the other team.
Krug coming back. Holding onto it out of the corner. Kevin Miller now in control. Young defenseman born in California. Again, as we said, played his college hockey at Vermont. Hinging here is Tim Gleason. Paired with Ryan Murphy, who has it. Murphy from the center zone, easily caught by Tuukka Rask. He'll reverse for Miller. Kevin Miller out of the corner, handcuffing David Krejci. Jordan Staal taken down by Griffith. It's loose. And now, play is whistled dead offside by the linesman, Andy McElman.
John, in the Eastern Conference for sure, maybe the entire league, last few years, it's been Boston's fourth line that has been the classiest fourth line in hockey. And actually, I'm sorry that we're going to see Brad Malone's goal against Philadelphia, but we're seeing Jordan Staal in a scary, scary re-injured moment, we thought, as PK Subban landed on that right leg. That's the same right leg that he broke, and fortunately just missed one game due to precaution.
And that was Wednesday night in Pittsburgh, and then, of course, became a new dad early. Friday morning, played the same night against Philadelphia, and was dominant in that game. Now, Tim Gleason off the stick of Elias Lindholm. You see it come all the way back. Hamilton in control. Played along here by David Krejci. His pass ahead of Griffith. Griffith now on the gallop. Getting back is Gleason. In support, David Krejci. Inside, Milan Lucic. He'll dance to the outside of Lindholm. To the point, Chara. A miss hit off a stick. Stahl. Eric sweeps it out to center ice. Detected by Chara. Brought in offside by Milan Lucic. Let's take a look at this afternoon's Storm Tracker. Our game keys.
Well, we saw it from Belmore already early, and the defenseman, you can't score in this league if your defensemen don't join in. Murphy did it on Malone's goal the other night. Falk did it on the game-winning goal by Eric Stahl. More depth production from guys like Brad Malone. I mentioned Boston has had the classiest fourth line in hockey the last several years and embraced the Bruins' desperation. I mean, this is an absolute must-have from a Bruins perspective, and the Hurricanes need to be the more desperate team coming off a win.
Torrey Krug had a goal yesterday. He'll feed it ahead. Bergeron tied up by Hainsey. It pops out to Victor Rask. Again, doing a good job in his own zone. Talusti broken up by Torrey Krug. Belmore right in front of you. Trip knocked down. Marchand takes over off the stick of Rask. Look out. A duck better than that, Trip.
Boy, I tell you.
You go underneath the boards if you have to.
Marchand's been known to get up with that stick. He just got over my follicles right there.
Get after it. Now Talusti. Laid along here by Victor Rask over the line. Rask in the zone approaching Seidenberg. Moved along by Tuukka Rask. Carolina keeps it deep. Talusti stolen by Dennis Seidenberg. Out to center ice. You're looking at Carl Soderberg. Over the line, they gain entry. His shot from well out goes wide, and again Boston stuck on 0 in terms of shots on goal. Soderberg off a stick. Defended. Again a hammer chance. Blocked on the way through by Jay McClement. We had the initial block, and out they come. McClement for the front. Dwyer. McClement holding onto it. Defended by Seidenberg. Kelly hands it off to Soderberg. Gets it back. A steal. Skinner faking. He'll delay. Moved along by Justin Falk. His shot goes off a stick. It stays in play. Boston hard-pressed. Dumped out of the zone by Chris Kelly.
This is an intriguing matchup. Skinner against this Soderberg line that you mentioned prior to yesterday against Ottawa has been by far, with Eriksson and Kelly, Boston's best.
In the last 10 games, they're responsible for 36% of Boston's goal scoring. Out of the corner, Krug. Griffith holding onto it. Back it goes. Adam McQuaid. Carolina gets the line of Riley Nash, Nathan Gerby, and Chris Terry out there. Murphy and Gleason back. Gleason holding onto it, D to D. Murphy. Gleason one more time. From neutral ice for Nathan Gerby. He'll thread it inside for Riley Nash, a loose puck. Nash along the boards, broken up by David Krejci. Seth Griffith out to center ice. Lucic going wide, broken up by Murphy and back out. Fed in by Dougie Hamilton. And the Hurricanes are back on it.
That has to be a confidence-building play for Ryan Murphy. Positionally there on Milan Lucic. He's probably given away a half a foot and 50 pounds.
Eric Stahl moving up. Jordan in support. Inside for Lindholm. Chara is on him. Zdeno Chara to the outside. He'll settle the puck down. Out to neutral ice. It's Patrice Bergeron. In the Carolina zone again, Boston is offside. We will speak live with Carolina's Cam Ward, who gets the afternoon off. Right after this, scoreless here in Raleigh.
No score here in Raleigh. Boy, he's been tremendous. Cam Ward, a rare day off. Cam, I think everybody wants to know, how have you stayed so calm in all these games and giving up so many, being so stingy with the lack of goal scoring, just staying the course of what you can control?
Well, I think that's it. You know, you just got to have the mindset that you're going to go out there and try to give your team a chance to win. And you only can control what you can't control, and that's get ready for that next save despite what happens in a game. And I'm enjoying playing, having a lot of fun. I've been able to get in a groove now by playing a lot more and enjoying it.
Right, you can tell it's a blast to watch. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, John.
Thank you, Trip. Having fun so important for all players, but he lives by that credo, and now it's played here by Brad Marchand. Away, in control, Riley Smith at the line. Good play. No quarter given by Ron Hainsey, who has the puck, and the Hurricanes start fresh. John, Tripp, and Chantel with you as always. We jet off to Nashville tomorrow. We'll stay on Sports South for that one. We start from the Music City with Hurricanes Live at 7:30. Jordan Stahl to the outside of Gregory Campbell. Stahl riding that cycle. Here's Eric. He'll stop. Rask shuts it down and hangs on.
Eric and Jordan against Chara and Hamilton, but also against Boston's fourth line. Look at this, John. Some of the work from Cam Ward. I mean, steady as she goes. Hang on, he's watching these highlights with me. Let me see if I can hear him. But we're admiring your work here, Cam. I mean,
Yes, we
positionally
are.
so sound, through traffic, the stick that's been dynamite this year. I can tell you, he's smiling. Just been outstanding.
And keep smiling.
And John says keep smiling.
There you go. 7:58 left in this first period. 9-0 shot differential favoring Carolina. The Stahl brothers stay out with Lindholm. Seidenberg on Jordan. Daniel Paille there for Boston. Here's Eric. Lindholm off the body, blocked up top. A good block by Greg Cunningham. That shot whistles wide off the stick of Sekera. Falk, Eric, Lindholm. Falk again, pickpocketed by Daniel Paille, but the Hurricanes get back in the center zone. Jordan Stahl moves up on McQuaid. He'll pull up, lay it deep for Elias Lindholm. Readies for a hit. Thrown at him by Dennis Seidenberg out of the corner. They win a battle. Boston gets to it. They're hard-pressed, a lot like Philly was Friday night trip.
Don't press too long, even on a good shift, and those are the little things that Jordan Stahl brings. John, he made a change when the puck was still in attacking fashion in the Boston zone. I mean, that's the selfless type of play you get from Jordan.
Okay, Justin Falk. Chopped by Skinner. A good force by Kevin Miller. Skinner recovers. Gets it out. Torrey Krug, chugging back in his own zone. He'll start again. Krug peppered on the way out, that time by Terry. Louis Eriksson, a lead feed. Chris Kelly. Soderberg's all alone out in front. Now Gleason picks him up. 6:40 left in period one. Carl Soderberg holding onto it. Along the boards, it goes deep. Khudobin out to play it. He'll let it go to the no-play zone. Gleason is there, bottled up by Eriksson. Good forecheck by Boston. Carl Soderberg out of the corner. Broken up by Riley Nash. Nash in control. Along the wall, off Kevin Miller, captured by Chris Terry. And away they go. Terry over the line, moves up. His shot swallowed by Tuukka Rask.
Well, right before we talked to Cam Ward, Brad Malone, having fought, actually might have been a teammate of Chris Terry's with Plymouth, Gregory Campbell. Excellent work by both guys, and Brad got a big ovation from the bench, but then he said to me, boy, he surprised me with a few lefts. And I said, well, you surprised him with a bunch of rights. And he said, I didn't know he was going to throw those lefties that he did. And, however you feel about fights, that was one of those non-stage fights. Both teams, really trying to lock it in early and, have that intangible edge on their side.
Right, and that's a good point. There's a purpose behind it when you do it early in the game. And for the Hurricanes, I've always felt in this building trip, you have to get the emotion on your side. A good crowd here today and play with that energy.
The Hurricanes want to be a proactive, not reactive team in their own building. I mean, they've been a reactive team at home for the last couple of years. They're showing signs of being a team, even when they haven't won games here. It hasn't been as much in past years because of sluggish starts, and that only helps being dialed in and starting on time.
That's right. Krejci wins it back. Hamilton now moves it. David Krejci sends it all the way back. It's been a tough year injury-wise for David Krejci. He's only played 19 games. Started the season on the injured list. Now Hamilton controlling it. Wheeled across. Lucic a give back for Chara. Milan Lucic in the skates of Dougie Hamilton. The Bruins finally get it deep. Anton Khudobin, the former Bruin, out to play it. Delusti off him, captured by Rask. Victor Rask out to neutral ice. Griffith now will dump it in for Boston. Hard around it goes. Lucic is there. Ron Hainsey the steal. Griffith is on him. Rask back checking. And now Nathan Gerbe hard pressed to get it out. Griffith will settle it down. McQuaid goes deep. Lucic is camped out. Boston grinds the cycle. Here's Patrice Bergeron, taken down by Ron Hainsey. Brett Belmore steals away from Griffith. Now it's played. Belmore tries to get it out. Off a stick, it goes high. Gerbe angles off the wall, and finally they get it out. But the Bruins get a change, and Milan Lucic will dump it in.
John, you mentioned David Krejci. He might be, at this point of Chara's career, a more significant loss when he's out of the lineup than Zdeno Chara.
Yes.
That's how important David Krejci is to this hockey club. A very underrated player.
Bergeron is outstanding, but they need two to make it go, and always have had that. But don't have the position in the standings at this juncture of the calendar year in a long while where the Bruins are at right now. A heavy hit. Dwyer took a shoulder from Gregory Campbell. Brad Marchand back in his own zone, in control. Kevin Miller has time and space, and away they go. Marchand, who scored yesterday, broken up. As Carolina will get it deep, they get a change. 4:18 left to go in period one. Shots 10-0 Carolina. Now Sekera holding onto it. Andre Sekera. Justin Folk. Arister fought off by Rask. Out of the corner. Brett Cunningham in control. On Claude Julien's fourth line. It comes all the way back. Justin Folk is on his horse. Finished off nicely that time by Chris Kelly. Folk stays with it. Back out to the center zone. Soderberg turns it back. Walks in, lays it across, off sticks. Carolina will survive as they get it out.
Well, you mentioned you need two centermen. Don't you think Boston would like to have a guy named Tyler Seguin back playing center at this point?
No doubt. As Lindholm's shot tipped wide by Eric Stahl. Chara takes a hit. Thrown out to center ice. Jordan Stahl played the body on the Bruin captain. Eric given a jolt that time by Milan Lucic. David Krejci to the outside, off a stick, off Gleason. It goes on to play. 3:20 left to go in the first period. The defense has been rock solid so far today for Carolina. Look at this play here by Andre Sekera. Well, the World Juniors are down to it. The semifinals today in Toronto. Russia has Sweden. Slovakia has Canada. And trip last year at this time, Elias Lindholm was heavily involved.
And it ended up being a very productive exercise for Lindholm. He had been injured in the prospect get-together in July here in Raleigh before his rookie season. He wasn't healthy. He was homesick. The tournament in his home country in Malmo. What a job they did staging the event. And he played with Philippe Forsberg, came back and was a different player. So that's what it can do for you. Might do that for a guy like Lazar.
You see the PNC intermission report at the top of your screen. Chantel sits down today with Elias Lindholm. Krejci. A shot. What a save. Hudobin for his first. How about that? As he robs Riley Smith.
Well, a guy who's been like a third broadcaster for us, that got quite a reaction, a facial reaction from Cam Ward. He's looking right up at the scoreboard and see his partner make this save. Bad turnover from Carolina. You want to be good at both blue lines, and they need more from Lucic. And Lucic, heck of a play to Griffin. And Smith is in a perfect shooting spot. And what a job there with that glove right on top of the pad. So no area to beat him in that position. What a save.
Now it's carried by Griffith. He'll hold on to it. Played along for Adam McQuaid. Kicked out with a purpose by Hudobin. Moved along by Seidenberg. In the corner, Nash had it lost, and Belmore takes down a man. A heavy hit on Patrice Bergeron. To the corner now. Boston grinding a cycle. Marchand. Griffith. It deflects back out to neutral ice. Fed deep by Dennis Seidenberg. 2:38 left in period one. In the center zone, Marchand taken down. Dougie Hamilton for the Bruins. Hambles in. Lays it along. A little drag move here. A nice one by Griffith. He'll hand it off. Bergeron. Dougie Hamilton. Brad Marchand to the outside of Riley Nash. Claude Julien mixing up his lines now, as he did late yesterday against Ottawa. Along the boards, Hamilton in control. Wide open, Zdeno Chara. Read all the way by Anton Hudobin. And now a disturbance in front of him. And Belmore for Carolina Polices on Brad Marchand.
Great feel here early in this Sunday afternoon. Boy, there's about as much physicality as you're going to see on Wild Card Sunday here in the NFL, and it's great to see. You talk about David Krejci, watch the blue line with Talusti, 2 checks. And the invaluable nature of the things he does. He's the guy that causes this turnover that leads to the best chance for either team in this first period. David Krejci, hockey IQ as high as anybody in the league. What a serve.
They will take a break. 2:08 left to go in this first period. The Bruins will not play again until Wednesday night, when they visit the Pittsburgh Penguins. Carolina, of course, will see the Nashville Predators, who had as wild as they get these days, or any day for that matter. 7-6 in overtime yesterday at Los Angeles. Now Ryan Murphy moves it along. The stall line is out for Bill Peters. This is Lindholm. Kicked out by Rask. Elias Lindholm from the corner. Jordan Stahl goes to work. Out in front, cleaned up by Hamilton. Played along for Louis Eriksson. 3-on-2. Come the Bruins. Erickson to the outside. Hamilton's in. His backhander shut down. Good stick by the combination of Gleason and Ryan Murphy. Chara with a shot tipped. Just wide over the top of Hudobin by Carl Soderberg. Dougie Hamilton in deep. Broken up by Eric Stahl. Hamilton gets it back. Right out in front. Hudobin said no. A dandy on Chris Kelly.
Boy, Kelly knocked that puck out of midair seamlessly right onto his tape. And again, how about the lateral pushes, both from right to left on the part of Hudobin to deny first Smith, then Kelly.
3 shots against Anton Hudobin, and stellar goaltending by 31.
You know what it screams to me, John? Mental strength. Because he hasn't seen much, and then you see 2 great A-plus chances. But I think it's the combination of mentally being able to dissect where the puck is going before it goes, and then getting the push to execute. And then you see a tip on the shot from the point, and it just goes wobbling over the net. Pretty impressive. You know, Anton Hudobin's always gotten better as games go along. He's mentally strong, no question.
This his best start, right? Albeit with 3 shots.
You're right.
Because in the games where he's played very well, he still had early moments to get through some rust and play through it. Now Sekera, just by Jay McClement. Justin Falk holding onto it. Choked off by Milan Lucic. Back out to neutral ice. Good job by Brad Malone to win that battle. He'll feed it in. Rask leads it. Krug takes a hit, pays a heavy price. A turnover. Falk with a shot blocked by Krejci. Out of the corner. Taking a swat at it that time. McQuaid goes off Rask. McClement shut down. They score on the rebound. Patrick Dwyer. Carolina breaks through.
Well, our first game key is more depth scoring. I thought Falk did an excellent job late in the period of holding the line, being very assertive doing it. And you had Malone with the fight earlier with the support from the support from Dwyer down low, and then a responsible high forward who then gets the puck to the net. So responsibility leads to a chance. And you want to talk about hunger? How many nights this year have we talked about the Hurricanes unable to really battle to create second and third chances in front of the net? Not there. What a play.
Elmore off the draw. Boston brings it in offside. 25 and a fraction left to go in the first period. And Hurricanes Live this afternoon, we talked about foot soldiers, supporting players, total players, whatever you want to call them. Patrick Dwyer was so good Friday night, comes through with Carolina's first.
And our first game key is more depth scoring. I mean, again, you look at Campbell on the ice with Paille. For many years, it was Sean Thornton, as I said. Truly, the class of fourth lines in the league. And Carolina gets the first goal of the game late in the period, which adds the importance to it with their fourth line.
That's the payoff for their hard work here in the first 20. Jay McClement, Brad Malone get the assist. Malone now points in 2 straight. A whistle stops play. We will get a penalty called here. Should the Canes score 3 or more goals this afternoon when you buy a large regular priced pizza online at Papa John's, the day after the Canes score 3 or more, you get that regular priced pizza. You can pick it up with better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Ron Hainsey guilty of a trip. Let's watch for 65 there on Cunningham, a former captain of the Vancouver Giants, where with, among others, Milan Lucic, he won a Memorial Cup. He's a player that was very distinguished with that Western Hockey League franchise. Draws the call, 16 seconds left here of a power play, and with no goal, fresh ice to start the second.
Boston power play is number 15. They are 26th on the road. They have struggled on the road this season at 7-9-1. Carolina's kill at number 6, and we catalog that in the open today as it comes all the way back in the Boston zone. The Canes have killed off 19 of 19 in the last 6 games. Soderberg in on Hudobin. No problem. He'll hang on. That'll do it. Time will expire. Brad Malone will be Trip Tracy's guest as he kicks off the PNC Bank first intermission inside a Hurricane. Elias Lindholm with Chantel McKay. Patrick Dwyer, his line mate, has the goal after 20 in Raleigh. Carolina 1, Boston, no score. Carolina Hurricanes hockey is brought to you by North Carolina Education Lottery. All or Nothing is the exciting new draw game from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Match all or match none and win the top prize of $250,000. Either way wins. By Raleigh Orthopedic. Go where the pros go. Raleigh Orthopedic. And by Golden Corral. Bring your family to Golden Corral and take home 6 piping hot and delicious yeast rolls. Free only at Golden Corral. It's been a week, and they're back, and the Stahl brothers look very good on the same line, the same situation here against Boston. Tripp, you're seeing it at ice level.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were very solid in the first period, but I also think it's a heck of a challenge for them playing against big number 33 for Boston. Smart move here, by the way. Chara not out with Hamilton, his typical part. Well, this is a power play, so typically he'd be up front.
Power play situation with Ron Hainsey in the penalty box for Carolina. Boston starts. Soderberg out of the corner. Back it goes for Dougie Hamilton. High slot, Bergeron. Riley Smith takes it to the outside. Denied by Anton Khudobin. Let's take a look at the first period numbers brought to you by Buffalo Brothers. Ah, man. Now I want wings.
When you look at the edge and shots on goal, not only in what went to the net, but what ended up on net, 24-11 and 14-4. And we began our pregame show and talking about the foot soldiers, our number one game key, more depth production. Hurricanes are off to a great start.
Certainly are. Out of these face-off, dug out by Louis Erickson, an errant pass intended for Dougie Hamilton that comes all the way back in the Boston zone. Boston on the power play in the last 5 games, 4 out of 13. Carried out here by Riley Smith. This way for Carl Soderberg, denied by Khudobin out of the corner. Soderberg is on it, a steal by Justin Falk. Out she goes, thanks to Nathan Gerby.
One and done. Steve Smith actually standing next to me. He says more than any other team that he's looked at with the pre-scout, Boston tries to score on their entries. They don't try to get possession inside the attacking zone and then hook. They try to score.
Carried along by David Krejci, broken up by Justin Falk. More time is killed. John Forsland, Tripp Tracy between benches this afternoon. Chantel McCabe at ice level. We're in Nashville Tuesday night. Torrey Krug drops it back. Krejci, spring pass, Lucic, and now Chara. Zdeno Chara centers one off the stick of Milan Lucic out of the corner. Patrick Dwyer has the game's only goal. Griffith is on him. It's loose. Seth Griffith broken up here by Pat Dwyer. They'll option it all the way down to Tuukka Rask, and the Bruins are down to just 3 seconds. Krejci lays it along for Torrey Krug. Krug in the zone, off the stick of Khudobin, and it goes out of play. Canes Corner at the Backyard Bistro. The next one will be Wednesday night. Justin Falk is the guest for Mike Maniscalco. It's sponsored by Coors Light. You can listen in on 99.9 The Fan. Better yet, show up right across the street from PNC Arena.
It was about 10 minutes, actually 10 minutes before warm-up. I was in the equipment room and Justin Falk had something that he didn't like about one of his edges. And Bob Gorman, one of the stellar equipment managers, quickly made the adjustments he needed. But that tells you when a player's skates don't feel right, he still plays the way he has so far. It shows that he has some real growing confidence in his game.
Boston had 3 shots with that power play. Jordan Stahl, peppered by Brad Marchand. Marchand holding onto it, given a shove, forced wide. Good job on him by Tim Gleason. Seidenberg had it, lost it. Greg Cunningham out in front, lurking, good stick. Khudobin ahead of Chris Kelly, who was all alone. Marchand tries to dig it out of that 4-man scrum. Chris Kelly for Boston. It ricochets back. Seidenberg shot swallowed by Anton Khudobin.
Well, when you only give up 4 shots, it means the defensemen are doing the job at both ends of the rink. And, you know, I like the fact that's Hainsey with an early shot. Griffith couldn't get in the shooting lane. Falk ready to shoot the puck off of a face-off. A much smaller Murphy with very good positioning on Lucic. Sekera going down at the right time. I mean, across the board, Steve Smith has to be delighted with the work of his blue liners.
Soderberg along with Louis Erickson and Gregory Campbell now for Boston on this line. Kevin Miller getting help from Tuukka Rask. He feeds it directly out of play. Tuukka Rask puts himself in a hole. Carolina to the power play.
It's still very fresh ice, so Boston not able to convert with essentially a 2-minute power play on fresh ice.
40, 2 minutes for delay of game.
You know, and let's see, is this thing, that thing looks flat to me. That's just a with a defenseman being able to come up and play that puck, that is a brain cramp from Tuukka Rask. Even good puck handling goalies let the defenseman play it. Rod Brind'Amour in the first period, he's coming way down to the defenseman. You know why? He's talking about their entries. He talked to Sekera about it after the power play in the first period. He just did it again. They want to make sure they're on the same page when they're coming up the ice.
Carl Soderberg will serve the penalty for the goaltender. Off the draw, Marchand in control. He'll carry along, wheel it out. Carolina gets to work in the power play. They are 20th right now with it as it comes all the way back. Justin Falk out to center ice. Moving up, a drop pass for Elias Lindholm. Lindholm in the zone, moves it to the outside. Carolina did not have a shot with their first power play. Riley Nash. Justin Falk readies along the wall. Nash one more time. He's watched closely by Patrice Bergeron. Goes by Elias Lindholm. Miller is on him. Boston, good coverage. Zdeno Chara walks it from his own zone out to neutral ice. He'll kill time, and the big guy gets after it. Chara moves in on Hudobin. Smart choice by Hudobin. Three to the wall. Falk skates out to center. Spring pass. Skinner's in. Drop pass. Eric. Skinner. Eric. What a block. Daniel Paille bails out Rask. In the slot, Jordan. Just high. Zdeno Chara tries to clear. Not out. Held in by Victor Rask. Eric drops it off this way for Skinner. Rask at the point. Holding. Shooting one. Blocked. It's loose. It kicks out. Sekera. Rask again. Andrei Sekera holding onto it. Across for Eric. Off a stick. Off Seidenberg. Jordan pressured by Campbell. Inside for Eric. Skinner. Stick battle. Jordan moves it ahead. Bevy of humanity. Covered up here by Tuukka Rask.
Well, the big-bodied Chara jumped in way down in the Carolina zone, and he couldn't get back. And good work, heck of a pass to Falk, and Falk now knows the Canes have numbers. And a heck of a play here. Little give-and-go play between Skinner and Eric Staal and Daniel Paille with a block that we might look back at with his left hand. Oh, boy. You might look back at that one. It was all about reacting well to Chara being caught so far up the ice that Seidenberg had a couple of good blocks thereafter.
Well, the Canes have a half minute. Sekera playing catch with Murphy. Andrei Sekera looks it over. Eric down deep. Talusti shut down by Rask. Eric Staal on the wall, broken up by Louis Eriksson. Andrei Sekera cradles along here for Ryan Murphy. The 21-year-old over the line in the zone, moving wide of McQuaid. Eric Sekera holding, shooting one. Blocked by Kevin Miller. Miller gets to it, angling off the boards. Back out. Soderberg's out of the box. They're offside. Duke Energy has power play numbers for us right here. After the unsuccessful power play, Victor Rask among rookies. Power play assists. Right behind Philip Forsberg. We will see him on Tuesday night.
Well, it goes back to a plane ride at the end of October back from Vancouver. Bill Peters was trying to figure out if he could put a forward on the point. He asked Victor if he had played there, and Victor said without hesitation, without any detail, just a one-word answer: yes. And he has done an excellent job there distributing the puck and composed plays on entries. He's been very good.
He's been really good, too, on keeps, right? Trapping the zone, keeping the pressure on. Hamilton moves it for Riley Smith. Through the center zone, Lucic gets it from David Krejci. Shot steal directly out of play by Anton Hudobin.
And, John, we may look back at the segment that just occurred as a turning point for the Bruins. And when a goalie takes a penalty himself, which he did not need to take, which Rask did, you usually sort of intensify your focus, especially when the coach is coming back to you in back-to-back days. And after the Paille block that was perhaps a game saver, we'll see. Rask seemed to elevate his play.
We'll see where it goes. 5 shots in the period so far. Each team has had a power play early, and Boston has 4 of those 5 shots. David Krejci, Riley Nash on the draw. Krejci for Miller. Torrey Krug, wristing one, wide of Hudobin. Belmore getting his stick back for Carolina. Carried down to the zone here by Jay McClement. Goes off the stick of Krejci. It comes all the way back. Rask has to play it. Krug has pressure. trying to advance up the wall. Riley Nash, Pat Dwyer for Carolina. Nash out of the corner. Krejci says hello. Torrey Krug hard-pressed by Dwyer. Dwyer goes down in a heap as we see. The Bruins hemmed in. Riley Smith to the point. Ron Hainsey for the Hurricanes. He'll go deep. Play read by Kevin Miller, crunched by Dwyer. In support, Riley Smith. And they start again. Lucic. Hooked along by Tlusty, gained by Torrey Krug. This way it's Smith. He'll delay. His shot blocked by Brett Belmore. Nathan Gerby gets to it. Away go Carolina out to center ice. The center zone, Boston's David Krejci, Riley Smith. He'll saddle it deep, get off on a change. Hudobin moves it. Ron Hainsey from his home zone. Rask lays it along for Brett Belmore. Griffith is on him. It's dumped all the way back in the Boston zone.
Boy, good play from Hudobin on that wraparound. Not only getting back, but seeing the Boston player coming on the far post, reversing it right on the defenseman's tape.
At the defense, Dennis Seidenberg handcuffing Adam McQuaid. Seidenberg gets it back. Had some good years here as a Hurricane. Brad Marchand rejected by Ryan Murphy. Here comes Eric Stahl over the line. Stahl delays. He'll button hook. Watched now by Bergeron. He goes deep out of the corner. Lindholm muscled by McQuaid. Jordan in back of Rask. He'll stick handle. It's tied up by Tuukka Rask. They want a whistle. Will they get it? They do. 13-18 left to go in the second period. We'll step aside. A one-goal lead for Jordan Stahl and the Hurricanes standing up.
We're back in the second. Sweden and Russia face off in the World Junior Championship semifinals today, but rewind to 2005 and 2006. Anton Hudobin represented Team Russia those years in the tournament. His dad was there watching, and he's always talked about how important his parents have meant to him to stay mentally strong. But it was 2006. In 5 games played, he had a .933 save percentage, and with that great play in the World Juniors, it was a defining moment to solidify he knew he could make it to the NHL. It meant so much to him that he recognized the medals on one of his former masks. Guys?
Thank you, Chantel. And of course, that tournament winding down. We cataloged that in period 1. Semifinals today in Toronto. And the gold medal clash between the final 4. Now, Terry along for Riley Nash over the line, moving up. Nash in control. Zdeno Chara on him. Dougie Hamilton for Boston. A pitch by Carolina's Justin Falk. Campbell, Cunningham get out there for Boston along with Paille. Skinner back to the point. It's Sekera. Andre Sekera. He'll move it along the dasher. Terry leaves it there. Stolen by Dougie Hamilton. Peppered by Nash. Greg Cunningham has control. And away they go. Gregory Campbell along the boards. He'll get it deep. Hudobin directing traffic. Out of the corner. Campbell. Back to the point. Kevin Miller. Miller wristing one inside for Cunningham. Free to the corner. Good look there. Gregory Campbell turning away. Centering feed. Shot taken. A good stick by Rask on Daniel Paille. And the Hurricanes survive. Jeff Skinner over the line with a shot checked from behind that time with a stick by Daniel Paille as Tuukka Rask will cover up. Let's go between the benches and hear from my good friend, Mr. Tracy.
Well, John, pretty interesting commercial timeout because during the whole break, Boston had 4 defensemen on the ice. You had Seidenberg, you had McQuaid, you had Chara lurking with Hamilton. But then Eric Stahl and Jordan were on the ice at the time. All right, so Claude Julien sends Chara. But then with the last change, Bill Peters yanks Stahl off the ice because I was wondering why they were using a right shot Nash. Is because he wanted the matchup later on with no Chara like he has here.
Murphy with a shot denied by Tuukka Rask. Chris Kelly. Ryan Murphy in control. With his head up. Indirect pass. Just slightly ahead of Elias Lindholm. It comes all the way back. Seidenberg. Flushed out by Lindholm. Stolen by Eric. Faking a shot off the paddle. The rebound. Good stop by Tuukka Rask. Elias Lindholm on the doorstep. Had the opportunity. Number 40 as his best.
So, John, why do you work so hard for the matchup? Because one moment in a game, you might get an advantage on home ice with the reload from Lindholm, the strip from Stahl, and then the follow-up from Lindholm with no Chara. And if you score here, it might be the goal that wins you the hockey game. That's why both coaches work so hard and who they get on the ice.
Victor Rask wins it back. Hainsey on the wall, Gerby. Victor with a shot off a stick. Deflected out of play. 11:43 left to go in the second period.
Well, Paul Dvorsky looks at Claude Julien to see if he's going to make a change here. He's not. Victor Rask, I think he's going to be a dominant face-off man down the road because that's usually the last thing to come. His numbers have been good this year.
He'll win another one back. Hainsey in control, looking for a tip. None available. Here's Belmore taking a hit to make a play. Thrown at him by Milan Lucic. It's carried out by David Krejci. All the way across. Hamilton. Smith. Hudobin said no. Anton Hudobin. A couple of great saves against his former team. Boston right back. It's Lucic. To the outside of Hainsey. He'll circle the wagons. Krejci camped out. David Krejci holding on to it. He'll stick handle in back of Hudobin. Krejci delays. Tries to center. Forced wide. Good stick by Hainsey. Riley Smith for Boston to the point. Dougie Hamilton, he'll dust it off. Lay it along. Smith again. A steal by Yuri Tlusny, an attempt to get it out. And it deflects out of play.
When we talked about Dougie Hamilton's offense along with Torrey Krug are open, and he's the key part of this. Watch the top of your screen. That's Hamilton jumping in, and then not shooting the puck, but instead seeing that Smith is alone in front of the net. And Anton Hudobin makes his second sensational save on Riley Smith of this game. So much of that is Dougie Hamilton. That's why we talked about his offense, among other things, at the open of our show.
Torrey Krug now back in his own zone. Boston will start the breakout. Griffith hands it off here to Marchand. Griffith will take it wide. His shot missing the target. Torrey Krug now holding on to it. Inside it goes. Defended by Justin Falk. Out of the corner. Good elevation off his skates by Torrey Krug. Griffith along the wall, tied up by Jay McClement. Out of that scrum, it's loose. Moving back is Brad Malone, shouldered hard on a forecheck. Moving up from the D was Kevin Miller. And it comes all the way back.
Krug had elevation like a fellow Michigan State Spartan, Irvin Magic Johnson, on that keep there. That was something.
That was. Little chip by Bergeron. In on Hudobin. He'll freeze. 10:04 left to go in the second period.
When you look at Krug, he's not a big man now at 5'9", 181. You see he's from Michigan. And Mike Vellucci, who is the assistant general manager, one of the assistant GMs for Carolina, and was a longtime coach and GM of the Plymouth Whalers in the OHL, drafted him several years ago, Torrey Krug, in the 13th round at 259th overall. At that time, he was 5 foot 3 inches tall, 125 pounds. Now, he chose to play college, and he was a very highly sought after free agent. I know Rod Brindamore, another Michigan State Spartan, loved him.
It'll be interesting. He signed a one-year ticket at the start of the season. It goes wide past Hudobin. The back of the goal now. Paille, Gregory Campbell, off sticks. Campbell to the outside. Skinner coming back for Carolina, muscled by Gregory Campbell. Greg Cunningham is there too, 61 in white. They jockey along the wall. 9:45 left to go in the second period. Nice up-close look as the Bruins now get it deep. Tim Gleason shrugs off Daniel Paille. But it's stolen by Campbell. Good reject by Ryan Murphy. Ahead of Daniel Paille, who was parked in front of Anton Hudobin, and you see it come back. Boston gets a change. So do the Hurricanes. Now Gleason, a quick up. Chipped along by Chris Terry. He's the last man off. Now Rask. Zdeno Chara. Better than halfway through. John Tripp and Chantel with you as always. We're back on Sports South. Tuesday night from Nashville. Soderberg. He'll circle. Flushed out by Belmore. Dougie Hamilton at the point. Off a stick. Off Lindholm. In the screen. We get a stoppage of play. 9 minutes left to go in the second period. Grinding game. Good afternoon of hockey here in Raleigh. 1-0 Carolina.
Just over the halfway point. Good afternoon game here in Raleigh. Andre Sekera joins us. I've seen Rod Brindamore talking to you a little bit about power play entries. If you get another power play, what are the key things you're looking to execute up the ice?
You know, shoot, keeping it simple, move the puck, and have traffic. Simple keys.
After you get possession. Thanks, Andre.
No problem.
Sometimes less is more.
Well, he's talking about after you get it in the attacking zone, so he's ahead of the play, and I hope he is in the rest of this one. It's a very popular European answer. Shoot, get traffic, score. And I think Sekera is playing some of his best hockey of the season.
One of the best guys ever, Tripp, in Kane Whaler history in terms of that was Robert Cron, who's now a scout for the Hurricanes. His favorite line, he went to it all the time. We got to stick with the game plan, no matter what. You can ask him anything under the sun. You have to stick with the game plan. Now Lindholm sticks with the game plan. Out in front. Lurking on the weak side, the pass from Eric Stahl. Now it's brought out. Milan Lucic hands it off to David Krejci. The late man, Dougie Hamilton, fights off a man standing tall. Anton Khudobin. The Canes have a brand new 5-game flex pack starting at $125. Choose from 7 key matchups ranging from January to March. Receive a $25 gift card to the eye with each plan that is purchased. Call 866-NHL-CANES or log on to CarolinaHurricanes.com.
Boy, that one young Kaniak has had his goalie mask on all afternoon, and Anton Khudobin certainly has the mask on. How does he stay up here? He's a smaller goalie, so when he doesn't have to go down, he has to have the courage to stay on his feet. Heck of a save on Hamilton. How about Hamilton joining the rush on a couple of these plays? And Anton Khudobin maybe hasn't seen a ton of shots, just 11. How many have been good quality? A lot.
Dougie Hamilton has recorded 6 shots on goal in 4 of his last 6 games. So he's been joining the rush, and we outlined that in the open here today as Carolina's Jiri Tlusty goes to work. Good check on him by Torey Krug. Brad Marchand for Patrice Bergeron through the middle. Open ice for Krug, and here he comes. Torey Krug to the outside, out in front, cleaned up by Ron Hainsey. Carolina will escape harm, and here they come. Victor Rask on the attack. Tuukka Rask will hang on. No further play.
And these two goaltenders that played together with Rask as a starter and Khudobin as his backup, and they went to a Stanley Cup final. Almost won. The Chicago Blackhawks won in 6 games, and you can bet this is a special start for Khudobin. There's the first big save on Smith in the first period. That's actually another one there. There was more to come. Very good puck handling moves there. A good read to reverse the flow. And that was the one I was talking about recently. One of 2 grade A specials in this period.
Off the face-off and back, it goes by Tim Gleason. Playing again with Ryan Murphy for the 2nd consecutive game. He's peppered by Gregory Campbell. Little chip by Pat Dwyer, located by Adam McQuaid, and now hinging is Dennis Seidenberg. Through the center zone, in Carolina ice, Daniel Paille patted down by Khudobin. Out of the corner, Paille and Campbell on the forecheck. Campbell attempting to win a battle. He's great on the wall. He's tied up by Dwyer. You see it up close. It kicks around. McQuaid can't keep it in. Now they go D to D. Seidenberg wipes it ahead. 7:29 left in the 2nd period. A first period goal from Patrick Dwyer. That's been it. It ricochets back. Murphy in control. Here come the Hurricanes out to center. On the wing, Malone off the stick of Tuukka Rask. In control, Carl Soderberg out to center ice. Now Greg Cunningham for Boston will feather it down deep. Falk readies for Chris Kelly. It rolls around. Riley Nash deep in his own zone. He'll start again. He's told to wheel. He complies. Terry out to center. Camped out as Skinner. Miller gets back. His shot body down by Tuukka Rask. And he'll stop play. The Carolina Ale House is the spot for Cool Bars. The next one, January the 19th. The Hurricanes are in Toronto that night. The brand new downtown Raleigh locale is the spot. Log on to CarolinaHurricanes.com.
Boy, Miller played Skinner very well on this rush. It was a heck of a pass in transition. Does he ever keep him to the outside? I believe Don Sweeney, part of the Bruins management team, deserves credit for discovering Miller out of the University of Vermont. He played him well there.
Off the draw, the battle won by Boston. Dougie Hamilton around the wall. Soderberg coming all the way back. He'll scoop it out to center ice. Jumps the stick of Andrej Sekera. Forechecked by Louis Eriksson. Falk mishandles it. Possibly some trouble brewing here, but Jordan Staal got to it. Not out, though. Zdeno Chara moves it. Top of your screen, Louis Eriksson. Let go, Dougie Hamilton. Stopped by Khudobin. He'll freeze.
Good work there from Falk. Boxing out on Soderberg, knowing he had been clipped in the face by a high stick. So had he let that impact the rest of his shift, it may be 1-1. Where does he get clipped when there's still, oh boy, right there, by the guy that almost scored the goal. So he goes down, has the wherewithal to actually make a key play, boxing out Soderberg. Obviously, it should have been a penalty. It wasn't. Falk is going to the dressing room, which makes me think that there was an injury on the play, so it would have been a double minor.
Off the draw. Torrey Krug through the blue and out. Traffic in front of Hudobin. Creeping up Miller. Angled out of the zone by Rask. Here comes Talusti, a backhander shut down by Tuukka Rask. Out of the corner, Jiri Talusti. He gets it back out in front. It ricochets off a body off Kevin Miller. Torrey Krug, fans on a dump out. Played here by Milan Lucic. Moving back now for Miller on the wing. Riley Smith, Lucic. Good coverage in the center zone by Victor Rask. Puck is fought for in front of that Boston bench, and it comes back. Ron Hainsey, D to D, Brett Belmore. Belmore indirectly along the wall by Gerby, all the way back. Icing is called here against Carolina. As we have a little disturbance. Belmore, Lucic, and Krejci. The face-off will come back in the Carolina zone.
The referees had to call off the shovelers thinking that we were going to a commercial break, but not on an icing. So, key draw here. I talk about Victor Rask and the promise that he's going to have in the face-off. So, you know what he just did? He just told Anton Hudobin, I'm going to try to win it on my backhand here. So just in case it comes back to you, be ready. I mean, that's how smart this kid is. That's just a high level of intelligence. Bergeron, boy, going against one of the best.
Patrice Bergeron, Marchand hammered by Chara, and Anton Hudobin read that all the way. 5:39 left to go in the second period. Sometimes you get frustrated in this game. It's fast, the sticks get high, and Justin Falk pays a price. And he doesn't like it. The Father's Weekend will continue. The Father's Road Trip is in Nashville. We're there Tuesday night on Sports South. That guy, Philip Forsberg, could be the NHL's Rookie of the Year this season. It starts at 7:30. They are in Anaheim tonight. And it's good to see Trip Justin Falk back on the bench for the Hurricanes.
How good is the Hurricanes medical staff too? You can see whatever that treatment is to stop it from bleeding and get him back and play. Of course, Hurricanes could have had a double minor, but Falk did a good job of working through it.
Bergeron scores. He's set up by Brad Marchand. Patrice Bergeron ties the game.
I know it's only early January, but this is a huge moment for the Boston Bruins. Hamilton keeps it alive, and the last many years, in big moments, how many times has Patrice Bergeron come through? And it's actually two small players, Griffith and Marchand, after Hamilton keeps it alive, that keep it even further alive down low. And Bergeron finds just a soft area at the tops of the circles. That's a breakdown in coverage for Carolina. But the two smaller guys, Griffith and Marchand, do just enough to allow Bergeron to score a big goal.
8th goal of the season, his 28th scoring point for Patrice Bergeron from Brad Marchand and Dougie Hamilton at 14:35. Just about 15 minutes gone in the second period as the Hurricanes get it deep. Boston has had 10 shots in this second period after recording only 4 in the first. Goes off the posterior side of Louis Eriksson. Chris Kelly plays it inside. Soderberg rejected by Hudobin. It skips high in the air. Chris Kelly goes down. Ryan Murphy hard pressed by Carl Soderberg. Dropped off in a cycle by Kelly. Soderberg takes it to the outside. Chara at the point. Caught by Hudobin. He'll hang on.
You know, John, I think the breakdown was from Jay McClement. And center on center, I think. The puck is going to work its way up top. Obviously, Hamilton does a good job of keeping it in. Okay, so Bergeron's at the top of the circles. And McClement went way down low when there was already a 2-on-2 down low that Sekera and Falk had covered. I just don't think that was the proper read. And Marchand and Griffith did a good job of forcing the turnover and allowing Bergeron to score the goal.
Well, the game has been leveled off now by Boston. David Krejci, Jordan Staal on the draw. Face-off controlled by Carolina. Ron Hainsey. Pawed down by Dougie Hamilton. That's a hand pass, and that will be a stoppage of play.
How big is the Paille block on that Carolina power play when Chara was caught up the ice? Looking now. Would have been 2-0. Heck of a play between Skinner and Eric Staal. These are long-term Bruins. I mean, I started thinking that before the game. such a storied franchise. If Bergeron keeps going like he has, does he have a chance to get his number retired someday in Boston?
I would agree.
He's in the conversation.
Yep. Got a long way to go. It's an 0-3 draft choice. Now Lindholm tied up, and a second rounder for that matter. Now it's played here by Eric Staal. Staal holding onto it. Winding up top. He'll go deep. Jordan Staal in a puck battle with Dougie Hamilton. Eric now along the boards. Back it goes Bellemore. Looking for a tip. None available. Off the back of the cage. Chara now. Milan Lucic waits. A force by Bellemore. The Bruins get after it. Jordan Staal traps the zone. Lindholm in a battle with Hamilton in support. David Krejci. Milan Lucic now looks around trip.
This is why Bill Peters wanted Krejci against Jordan Staal. He hasn't gotten it much today. They haven't been against each other that often.
No. Center zone brought in by Gerby. To the outside. The drop pass goes off Bergeron. His goal is tied it. Hamilton had it, lost it. The puck was rolling on him. Now it deflects inside. Dougie Hamilton gets help from Zdeno Chara. Milan Lucic along the boards. Bergeron tries to help out too. Little shove on Tulosti. Here's Justin Folk. Going wide, Sekera holding, shooting one, caught off and covered by Tuukka Rask. New to PNC Arena this season, state-of-the-art lighting. LED technology developed and manufactured by Durham One NC-based Cree Incorporated. And it looks beautiful.
Well, you know what looked beautiful, John? Is another late period goal. Carolina got one with less than a minute to play in the first period. Of course, the only game between these two teams earlier this year. Boston got a late period goal, which was probably the biggest of the game. And Carolina press again here late with 3 minutes to play.
Teams will play in late March. March 29th here. That'll be the final game of a 3-game set. Boston in the Atlantic Division, Carolina in the Metro. Boston is 4-3-1 against the Metropolitan Division this season. Out to center ice, it deflects in the Carolina bench. Another break and play. Just under 3 minutes left in the second period.
And you look at that historic 0-3 draft. Eric Staal went second overall, by the way, in that draft. One of the greatest drafts in NHL history. I don't think that's a stretch. And since 2011-2012, I think people think he has more points than he really does. This is the guy, if I'm Jordan Staal, that I strive to be. Do everything to help your team win. If you can get 60 points a year, you're getting full value. That's what Bergeron does. Multiple Selke Award winner, twice Olympic gold.
That's right. Without leading the league in scoring, you can still find your way to the Olympic team. Now Sekera in deep. It's loose. Marchand off a stick. Out in front. Not out. Skinner had it, lost it. Tied up by Miller. Skinner again. Goes wide. Jeff Skinner throws on the brakes. Out in front, cleaned up by Torrey Krug. Now dumped out of the zone by Patrice Bergeron. Sekera, tight turn on Griffith. He'll wheel it across now, and it's played here by Justin Folk. Out of the corner, Malone, off Tuukka Rask. He was almost caught in an awkward spot. Soderberg, deep in his own zone, hands it off. Krug spins off a man, tries to clear. Soderberg, a deflected clear end, and coming all the way back is Tim Gleason.
And Bill Peters, the confidence to go with his fourth line late. Of course, they scored the goal late in the first.
Brad Malone on the off wing. Turns away from Dennis Seidenberg. Murphy with a shot. Stopped by Rask. It's loose. He recovers. Patrick Dwyer had the chance, and Tuukka Rask got to it. Chris Kelly will get it deep. Boston changing. So is Carolina. Ryan Murphy starts his engine. Eric Staal not deep enough. Broken up here by Adam McQuaid. Seidenberg in control. Seidenberg, a quick up. Off of Lucic, gained by Gleason. Fielded by Eric Staal, and now he goes deep. Jordan on McQuaid. It rolls around. Lucic along the wall, away from Bellemore. Carried out. 2-on-1 possibly. Krejci shakes off a man. He walks in for a chance. There's Smith off the goal post. Oh my! Lucic off Hudobin. Smith with a chance off a stick. It's still fought for. Jordan Staal gets to it. Carolina will survive that one.
What a play from Krejci to create that whole situation. Carolina had a defenseman caught. Eric Staal tried to cover up, but wasn't able to do it, and that's a big break.
Now Lindholm Cross corner dump in. Bergeron back for Boston. Lead pass in the skates of Marchand. He gets to it. Interrupted by Sekera. Turning is Gerby. They spring a man. It's Talusti. Back for Gerby. Here it is. Oh, what a save! Tuukka Rask attacking Nathan Gerby.
Boy, the former number one, still a number one in the understudy, Rask and Hudobin. This is a heck of a matchup. Belmore gets caught with the pinch. Eric Staal is not able to properly cover up, and David Krejci creates the whole thing out of nothing. Patience, waits for the passing lane on Ron Hainsey, and then Smith, who has probably had 4 golden chances in this game, can score. And then the Hurricanes have a grade A bid at the other end, and a hybrid stay-up going down, saved by Rask. Huge stop.
Off the draw. Bergeron. He'll lift it ahead. Falk coming all the way back. 6 seconds left in the period. Very exciting game on this Sunday afternoon here in Raleigh. Seidenberg is on it. 2 in the books here in Raleigh. Tripp, let's take a look at Carolina's last scoring chance on Tuukka Rask.
Rask versus Hudobin, John, has been really, really good. One guy has had a save, the other guy's had an answer, and then it continues to flip-flop back and forth. Boy, challenging, big size, and he went down, but it was like he was still, vertical, like he was standing up, Johnny.
Great save by the Vezina Trophy winner a season ago, Tuukka Rask, on Nathan Gerby in the late stages of the period. The Caniac Nation enjoying it. A matinee here in Raleigh. And a great game that started with some fisticuffs. Malone and Campbell. A goal for Pat Dwyer. The answer by Anton Hudobin, but Patrice Bergeron ties it in the second. We're back after this. Here in Raleigh, Anton Hudobin, who's been a centerpiece of what has been good today for the Carolina Hurricanes, leads the boys out for the start of the third period. His mentor, his coach, David Marcoux, standing by with Chantel McCabe.
Anton Hudobin hasn't had to make a lot of saves, but the ones he has had to make have been very impressive. What's impressed you most about his play today?
Just his focus, his level of focus. Obviously, a team that he played for in the past, the Boston Bruins, and the motivation is high. So he's there, he's talking a lot. His puck handling is very good also.
Thank you.
And Tripp Tracy, not an easy game to play when you're looking at not a lot of shots.
You almost have to have played goal, or in your case, be the father of a fine young goaltender to know how tough it is when you don't, when you really don't even work up a sweat in a lot of ways, and then you're called on to make lateral athletic saves and be sharp.
Off the face-off now, Justin Falk, a deflected clear that goes right into the Boston bench, and we get our first break in play.
Yeah, he's done it. No question about it. And then it's interesting because, a shot where you would think he'd be able to get set, Bergeron's able to beat him between the legs with a quick release. But, boy, he and Rask, Anton Hudobin have put on a nice display of goaltending.
John Forsland, Tripp Tracy, Chantel McCabe, along with our crew, PNC Arena. And we will be at Nashville Tuesday night, right here on Sports South. It starts with Hurricanes Live at 7:30 Eastern Time against one of the great stories this season in the National Hockey League, the Nashville Predators. Back inside it goes. Victor Rask holding onto it along the wall. Pressured by Patrice Bergeron, who has Boston's tally. A force by the defenseman, Adam McQuaid, moving up. To the point it goes. Flung along by Seth Griffith. Now it's played by Justin Falk, and Carolina will restart. Falk now from his own zone. Out to center ice. He'll gain center, feed it behind to Tuukka Rask. Carl Soderberg in support of him, Dennis Seidenberg, and out they come. Louis Eriksson loses control. Carolina starts over.
One thing Bill Peters has not done, that right into the bench. He has not juggled his lines as much as earlier this season, John, right now.
All right, Tripp, the freeze cam is brought to us by Frost Brewed, Coors Light.
I agree with not juggling. This was the play between Skinner and Staal on the power play where the Hurricanes are up 1-0 and Daniel Paille saves a goal. And then to me, the high stick from Soderberg on Falk, he was cut. Would have been a double minor. It's unfortunate. However you feel, it does lend to the argument of some point of making those types of plays reviewable or a coach's challenge. It was a key play today.
Lindholm for Carolina. Thwarted a bit, sandwiched by Killian Soderberg out of the corner. Jordan Staal goes to the corner now this way, broken up. Louis Eriksson will dance out to center. Eriksson corrals the puck. Dougie Hamilton to the outside of Ryan Murphy. Easily fended off by Anton Hudobin. Murphy. Eric Stahl coming all the way back. Away go Carolina. Now to neutral ice. Lindholm tied up by Carl Soderberg. A couple of Swedes in front of that Boston bench. Chris Kelly attempting to dig it out. Justin Falk now takes it back, and the Hurricanes can restart. You're looking at Andrej Sekera. He'll move it off the end wall, captured by Zdeno Chara from his goaltender.
I'm not sure what happened between Lindholm and Soderberg, the two Swedes, but Elias gave him a nice little wink as Soderberg was struggling to the bench. There may have been a little stick work there, I'm not sure.
All right, Lucic will steer it in. Hudobin moves it. Getting to it is Andrej Sekera. Now Kevin Miller for Boston. Milan Lucic spins it wide. Riley Smith in front of Hudobin. He was lurking. He carries out in front. And diving out to cover up is Anton Hudobin. Fox Sports Live, we've got all the news from the world of sports, including highlights of a full day in the NBA and NHL. Fox Sports Live is tonight on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Hurricanes come out with their fourth line. Jeff Skinner just got off next to me, John. He's back from the flu. He's had some chances, but they've, I think, been perimeter-based. This is where he has to find a way to fight through the perimeter, and even for a pure goal scorer, get in the scoring areas. That's what he needs, and it's what everybody needs to do to be successful.
It's not easy today in this situation with this opponent. Krejci wins it back. Riley Smith in control. Right out in front, nobody home. Kevin Miller can't get to it. A good steer by Brad Malone. Away go the Hurricanes. Patrick Dwyer, who has the goal for the Hurricanes, will get it deep. A reverse by Smith for Miller. Now getting to it is David Krejci, but not out. Hainsey's shot tipped wide by Brad Malone. All the way back, Hainsey again, point to point. Brett Belmore checked a bit by Smith. It goes deep. Malone for Dwyer. Dwyer looks around, maintains control, sets up Hainsey. Off a stick, it goes wide. Off McClement. Brad Malone inside good. Fourth line presence again by this grouping for Bill Peters. Now, good pinch by Brett Belmore. Brad Malone in the corner. Torrey Krug is on him. They tie it up. Malone knows his team is changing, so he wanted to tie it up as long as he could. And out of the corner, Krug now will move it. Here's Milan Lucic, pressured by Tim Gleason. Gleason gets to it. Lucic does the same, and now finally, it's cleared out by Boston.
Well, John, I'm surprised that that last shift, Krejci on the ice, no Char. With last change, Bill Peters used his fourth line, not Jordan Stahl.
Oh, my goodness. A short hopper trip, I'm sorry, but it skipped like it was right along a pond. Nice little pee was sent in on Tuukka Rask and went right off the goalpost.
I'm the one who's sorry. Usually I jump in when I think it's a comfortable time to do so. I didn't think Rask would give up one from that range.
No. Now Murphy coming all the way back. Gleason in control. Brought along by Paille with Campbell. Defended by Gleason. Tim Gleason elevates, kicked ahead by McQuaid. Here's Paille, holding, shooting one, just wide. Loose along the wall, McQuaid can't get to it. Steered out of the zone by Yuri Tlusty. Boston, Greg Cunningham will go off on a line change. Roll it in on Anton Hudobin. Out of the corner. Carolina starts again. Jordan gets it from Falk. Lindholm has room. Looking for Jordan. Cut off by Zdeno Chara. A foot race ensues. Marchand. Good sweep check by Carolina's Andrej Sekera. Justin Falk. He'll go D to D. Sekera with his head up. Lead pass moved in by Jordan Stahl. Elias Lindholm crunched by Zdeno Chara. Patrice Bergeron is also there for Boston. Out of that scrum, it's loose. Heading on it, Belmore. Marchand is away. Riley Nash getting back. Marchand in the zone, gets help from Patrice Bergeron. To the corner, Belmore for Carolina. It goes high, fielded by Riley Nash. Broken up by Griffith. It comes back. Chara off the blocker of Hudobin. Steered to the corner, now Marchand one more time. To the point, Zdeno Chara by him. Boston restarts.
It's a great example of Marchand carrying the puck into the offensive zone. His feet went in first, but since he had full control of the puck, it's onside. And the linesman, Andy McKelman, was right on the spot, to me, to make the right call.
Hainsey now for his partner Belmore. Here's Victor Rask over the line with Terry and Skinner. It goes deep. Chris Terry tied up by Torrey Krug. Kevin Miller in control. Plays it alertly along the wall. Pawed down by Gleason. The lead pass, that's a hand pass to Jeff Skinner. That'll stop play.
Well, there was a basketball game in here yesterday. It was NC State and Pittsburgh. University of Pittsburgh. This was sweet on sweet, Rask on Rask. Oh, that would have been a beauty for Victor on Tuukka Rask. And this is the play I'm talking about. Marchand has full control. And even though his body goes in first before the puck, to me, that's a good onside play. McKelman, the linesman, with the right call.
Face-off won by Boston's Carl Soderberg, and now in control, Torrey Krug. Chris Kelly a chip in the Carolina bench. A halt in play. Just about 6 minutes gone in period 3.
Well, Chris Kelly has moved to the wing to play on this line that has been very, very good of late, with Soderberg in the middle and Louis Eriksson on the other side. And what a useful, versatile player Chris Kelly has been. You know, this Boston team, though, I think they'd love to have the Sagan trade back, quite frankly. You look at where he's at, and they'd certainly like to have Johnny Boychuk back, who's been moved to the Islanders really more than anything for cap reasons.
Yeah, this line has scored 9 of the last 25 goals Boston has scored, and 3 of those 9 have been game-winning goals out of the corner. Louis Eriksson, Kevin Miller. Looking for a tip, none available. Getting to it is Patrick Dwyer. Dwyer moving it back. Gleason, hard press in the forecheck, a steal. And making that steal was Louis Eriksson. You see it up close. It rolls back to the point. Covering up, Chris Kelly. Louis Eriksson corrals the puck. Miller a steer off a stick. It goes in the screen, and it will step aside. 13:35 left to go in regulation time. Deadlocked at 1 in the capital city.
Tied at 1 in the third. Brad Malone, or as his teammates call him, Bugsy, scored his first goal in a Cane sweater on Friday versus Philly. Malone earned the fireman helmet from his team, and as soon as this photo was taken, he got out the shaving cream and got rid of the beard. He told his teammates he wouldn't shave until he scored, and even told Tripp before the game that he would tally a goal that very night. The monkey's off his back, and the beard is no longer for number 24, guys.
Thank you, Chantel. He's been doing all the intangible things that teams need, and now getting the reward in terms of points.
And I can tell you, he just spent the commercial timeout working on his lip service with the Boston bench in this tight one, so that was enjoyable to hear.
You were having a discussion with one of the linesmen, and then he was barking over the top of you two.
It was confirming the fact that that was the right call when the player has control of the puck and his body goes into the attacking zone first. He said, no, that's right. As long as he has full control, that's onside.
All right, now Lucic hands it off to David Krejci. He gets it back. David Krejci can't locate it. Riley Smith does for Boston, only for a second. Carolina moves back. Jordan Staal from Hainsey, intended for Eric, and it comes all the way back in the Boston zone. 7 minutes, just about 7 minutes gone in this third period. John Tripp and Chantel with you as always this afternoon on Sports South, where we will be Tuesday night from Nashville. Coors Light, Cold Hard Facts. Second installment, Victor Rask is on the spot here for this, and good for him. Shots on goal in terms of rookies. Philip Forsberg of Nashville, we see him on Tuesday. He leads the way, and Victor Rask right behind him.
See, it is promising in all different types of areas. To me, the top thing is how teachable Victor Rask is. Coaches, more than anybody, love that. All of the lessons he's learning, including the rigors of a tough NHL schedule, especially a good portion without Jordan Staal. You can just imagine with the type of work ethic he has and his desire to learn where he's going to be at next year. And it's going to be fun to watch his progress.
A huge praise from Rod Brindamore and Hurricanes Live this afternoon. His eyes just lit up talking about Victor Rask because, again, he's not getting rewarded. This is a player who is struggling for points, but, again, doing everything needed. Maybe more importantly, what's really needed to play at this level defensively. Now it comes back for Gleason. His shot just missing. Rask had the angle. Now Ryan Murphy, Pat Dwyer. Malone with a shot canceled. A couple of good sticks defensively for Boston. Gleason at the point with a shot. Great save by Rask. It's loose. Greg Cunningham in control. And Boston finally gets it out.
Another good shift for the fourth line, John. Dwyer talked about the fact that they feel like they've earned this opportunity in our interview in the second intermission. And Rask did not see that shot because of the traffic until the last second.
Now it's carried out by the Hurricanes. Ryan Murphy, Nathan Kirby over the line. Easily detected by Tuukka Rask. Patrice Bergeron, top of your screen. Brad Marchand gets to it. Held in by Victor Rask. A wrister high over the top of the net. Played this way by Seth Griffith. He'll move it back. Kevin Miller out of the corner. Reverses the flow. Torrey Krug in control. Boston tries to wheel out of their own zone. Now they do. Krug gets it from Miller. Torrey Krug over the line. Negotiates to the outside of Justin Falk, who plays him well. Andre Sekera pressured by young Griffith. And now Bergeron is there too. Broken up by Jiri Tlusty. Carolina wheels out. You're looking at Justin Falk. He'll go off on a change. Off a support. Look out. Nobody home for Carolina. Brought out here, luckily for Boston, by Torrey Krug. He'll spin it in.
Did you see the two-way hockey from Victor Rask on that shift? Holding up as the high forward at the offensive blue line, then working down low for a pretty easy breakout at the end of a shift. That's what excites a guy like Brind'Amour, a former Selke winner.
Boston goes D to D. Seidenberg. A quick up intended for Chris Kelly. Jumps into the Carolina bench. That'll stop play.
John, let's look at this play away from the puck. And Brind'Amour won the Selke twice. There he is, pinching defenseman. That's a gamble worth taking if you have Rask covering up. Reading what's going on, being a step ahead of the play, positionally right where he needs to be. And a part of it, Ron Francis, I'm sure, wants to get even more of this, is spend the appropriate amount of time in the American Hockey League. He probably would have spent more had Jordan Staal not been injured.
Right.
And that's what Ron Francis wants to get to, players not coming up before they're ready.
Louis Eriksson defended by two. Hainsey and Belmore getting back. It's held in by Boston. Eriksson along the wall gets help from Soderberg. Carl Soderberg for Louis Eriksson. Soderberg one more time, stopping and starting on Riley Nash. He centers one through the blue and out. Skinner tries to clear. That has to get out. It does not. Louis Eriksson holding onto it along the wall. Broken up, carried out by Skinner. Back pressure from Kelly. He takes a hack from Chris Kelly. He stays with it. Go ahead.
Sorry, Johnny. That puck just has to get out from Jeff. I mean, he has to learn that that's just as important as creating a chance in the offensive zone in a 1-1 game late.
Now it's Sekera. He'll scale it in. Around the wall it goes, punched by Lindholm. Jordan. Out in front, Eric. What a save by Tuukka Rask on Eric Staal. Now a steal. Eric holding, shooting one off the blocker of Rask. Played again by Andre Sekera. Jordan up top. Off the stick of Eric. Eric given a shove by Zdeno Chara. Dougie Hamilton ahead of Elias Lindholm. He tries to get to it. Lindholm knocking it down. Hit support Jordan Staal. In deep it goes. Lindholm had it, lost it. Moving up Sekera. Andre Sekera protects the puck well. A tight turn. Holding out of it off a stick, off Krejci. He gets it back. Now it's Justin Falk. A slap pass off the end wall. Controlled by Tuukka Rask. Will step aside. 9:18 left to go in regulation time. Level ground here in Raleigh.
Tight game here, last 10 minutes. Elias playing with Jordan and Eric. What type of goal, you're a goal scorer, do you think it's going to take to win this thing?
It's going to be those dirty ones, you know, a rebound or just be around there and hopefully we'll get one.
Well, you had a good last shift. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Back to you, John.
Thank you, Tripp. That's what it will take in a game like this. He's working hard every shift. So is Jiri Tlusty, returning recently from injury, still leading Carolina with 10 goals. But his last goal came Thanksgiving weekend, albeit with 7 games lost in December because of injury. So we'll see who breaks through in the late stages here in Raleigh. Brad Marchand over the line. Cuts for Boston. Throws on the brakes. Lays it across off Seth Griffith. And now out of the corner, Krug. Griffith can't make it happen. Kicked along by Gerby. Brought out of the zone by Tlusty. Jiri Tlusty sets up Victor Rask. From well out wide of Tuukka. Played here by Nathan Gerby. Gerby in control. At the line, settling it down, Gleason, his shot, good save by Rask, and a possible tip from Jiri Tlusty. Daniel Paille brings it in offside. We got to stop and play.
Brad Marchand was just clipped and came off the bench in pain. John, you know what, I know I'm tough on it, but if you're going to get to be a winning hockey club consistently, you have to win battles like that, just somehow getting pucks out with McQuaid coming down if you're Jeff Skinner. And I have so much hope in Jeff Skinner. He's a great kid. I've seen some movement in the defensive side of the puck, and therefore my expectations have gone up about he can win that battle. And teams that win and are the top of their conferences, they get those pucks out in tight games.
That will complete him, and with his talent, make him a better player. Over the line now. It's rolled all the way back. Ryan Murphy in control. Ryan Murphy now with Carl Soderberg lurking up top. Boston, everybody else is stationed out in neutral ice. Was off the stick of Riley Nash. This will be icing against Carolina.
Every faceoff becomes bigger and bigger, and I think, I didn't see the stats for 2 periods, but I know through the first that McClement and Bergeron were the 2 best, and David Krejci is the right guy for Claude Julien to take this as a lefty. He's got an edge here on Riley Nash based on where the tops of their sticks are.
David Krejci. Face-off battle with Nash. It's loose. Ryan Murphy takes it deep. It was off the stick of Riley Smith. Milan Lucic on Tim Gleason. Smith for Boston. Lucic to the outside. Chris Terry now for the Hurricanes. Through the center zone. Skinner forcing Chara. Boston turns it back. Lucic on and off the stick of David Krejci. Andre Sekera, as you see it from ice level. They go deep. Out of the 4-man scrum, Sekera. Skate to stick, Eric Stahl. Through the middle on the attack, it's Falk. Now Lindholm cutting, he has room. His shot hung on to by Tuukka Rask. The chance of a lifetime yesterday and tomorrow sit side by side. The Daytona 500 is February 22nd. Tickets on sale now at Daytona500.com.
The Daytona Speedway, the weak side defenseman's Justin Falk. Watch the right side of your screen. That's exactly what Bill Peters is looking for. That looks like a Detroit Red Wing play. The organization that Bill came from for Mike Babcock, not leading the rush, but joining it.
Falk now will move it. Tuukka Rask directing traffic. Yuri Tlusty goes inside. Played along the wall by Dennis Seidenberg. Gerby and Tlusty both on him. Yuri Tlusty losing control, getting it back. Good play by Tlusty inside for Nathan Gerby. Now Seidenberg defends. Tlusty closes the gap. Grinds along the wall. It's loose, forked out, but not out by Marchand. Gained by Sekera. Here he comes. Andre Sekera turns away from the pack. Falk with a chance. Off a body, off Tlusty out in front. Patrice Bergeron feathers one all the way back in the Carolina zone. Both teams reorganize. A quick up. Out of the reach of Nathan Gerby. And that was touched up here as offside, I believe, is called here with 6:59 left in this third period.
You look at the Storm Trackers, the keys to the game, defenseman joining the attack. Falk not only did it there, as I mentioned, but he did it on the... And the depth production continued. The 4th line scored that goal after Falk held the line. And I think the Hurricanes have embraced the desperation that the Bruins come in with, and that's why we have a tight 1-1 game late.
They call it icing. They bring it back. McClement. Chris Kelly utilized on the wing at center for Keith's offensive zone draws like this. Now Soderberg deflecting wide of Anton Khudobin. Moving up, Kevin Miller. On a cycle now for Boston. In control, Carl Soderberg. Looking for his line mate, Kelly. Soderberg in a battle now. Out of the corner, Louis Eriksson tied up by McClement. Boston stays with it along the boards now. Soderberg to the point, eluding Kevin Miller, and all the way back out. Miller paired on defense with Torrey Krug, who has it now. Louis Eriksson. And directly along the wall by Hainsey, all the way back. Justin Falk. Little bump from Carl Soderberg, and now it's Jay McClement. Along the wall, center zone and back. 6:15 left in this third period. The Canes will take off for Nashville tomorrow. Play there on Tuesday night. You can see it here, starting with Hurricanes Live at 7:30. Out of the corner, now top of your screen, Lindholm. Seidenberg come together deep in the Carolina zone. It's loose. To the point, Lucic with a shot nullified. Chop chance by Smith, blocked by Sekera. Now Falk in the corner, Riley Smith for Boston. Falk gets to it. Riley Smith, good work. He gets help from Milan Lucic. Back to the point, Jordan Staal now with a steal for Carolina. Out they come. Eric tries to fight through Seidenberg. Adam McQuaid will take over. Here come the Bruins out to neutral ice. David Krejci. 5:35 left in regulation time. Krejci now elevates the puck, goes off on a change, and gets it deep.
That was a nice subtle job from Seidenberg, getting in the lane that Staal was coming through, and he got away with it.
Yuri Tlusty, 2 men back for Boston. His shot easily detected by Tuukka Rask. 5:17 left to go in regulation time. Tim Gleason from downtown. A tip right there and a sharp stop by Tuukka Rask. Down the stretch we go. Today here in Raleigh. Only 2 goals so far today. Patrick Dwyer Tripp starts the scoring.
Yeah, pretty darn good work. McClement, then the low men on the tying goal, Griffith and Marchand. The high man scores, Patrice Bergeron. So very similar goals in the way that they were generated and scored in this 1-1 affair.
5:17 left to go in regulation time. Face-off won by Patrice Bergeron. Getting to it, Tulosti only for a moment. Brought out here by Dougie Hamilton. Cleared all the way back in the Carolina zone as we see Ron Hainsey. Angles one off for Yuri Tulosti. Lead feed, Nathan Gerbe brought in by Victor Rask. He'll punch it to the corner. Chara's back for Boston, a steal by Gerbe. Off a stick, it goes deep. Tulosti will hunt it down. Punched by Hamilton. Nathan Gerbe gets a second chance. Ryan Murphy at the point. Moving it by Gerbe. Dougie Hamilton for Boston. On the wall, Griffith. He'll move it back. Hamilton again. Seth Griffith takes a hit. Broken up by Tulosti. Now Rask. He'll settle it down. Ryan Murphy, a chop chance goes high. He got underneath it, and it stays in play, we believe. Now Boston's Brad Marchand not out. Murphy to the outside. Ryan Murphy fanning on a shot. Second chance. He'll poke it deep. Nathan Gerbe in the corner. You see it up close. He'll grind. He's taken down. No call. It's loose. Griffith now along the wall and out. Griffith will play it deep. Go off on a line change. Ron Hainsey looks around. Just about 16 minutes gone in this third period.
Real smart, unselfish work, Carolina, making those changes when the puck's in the offensive zone. 3 guys, 2 forwards and a defenseman successfully got off.
Miller coming back. Krug now for Boston. Torrey Krug. Kevin Miller. This is Chris Kelly. Kelly negotiates one by Sekera. Nash in support. Moved by Falk, not out. Held in. Soderberg in the corner. He'll grind along the wall away from Riley Nash. Moving up is Torrey Krug. It goes past Anton Khudobin. Kevin Miller for the Bruins. Stops on a dime ahead of Skinner. He'll go deep. Chris Kelly ahead of Falk. Kelly in a battle with Carolina's 27 to the outside. Soderberg winding one off, sticks wide. Getting to it in the corner. Chris Kelly inside for Louis Eriksson. Eriksson is defended by Andrej Sekera. Sekera plays it in his skates, dug out by Eriksson. He'll carry one for Kevin Miller on and off his stick. Kevin Miller inside, given a shove by Skinner. Boston maintains pressure. Sekera for Chris Terry. Hard pressed to get it out. They do, and Carolina can get a much-needed change.
Good coverage from Skinner. Was hard on him on McQuaid there. He found Miller. Miller had a good chance coming in on the weak side.
Here comes Lucic to the corner. Milan Lucic, nobody there at the point as we see Adam McQuaid coming all the way back. 2:43 left in regulation time. Dennis Seidenberg, Riley Smith, he'll corral it. He'll roll it along. Getting to it is Lucic. Milan Lucic now broken up by Eric Stahl. He'll sweep it across in the skates of his brother, gained by Smith. Over the line with Lucic, but the Bruins are offside. Let's go between the benches and hear once again from Tripp Tracy.
Well, tight hockey game, John. What I like is you have a shift where Carolina has the puck deep. The old hockey line, change before you're tired. And you see the top of the screen. Victor Rask, off he goes. Smart. And then Murphy ended up changing it another forward, and then Boston did the same thing in the Carolina zone. I mean, this is what you have to do in tight games. And then I just love the play that Skinner made on the weak side dealing with Miller after a tough defensive shift earlier. That was a good one for Jeff.
Dougie Hamilton sends one past Khudobin. Getting to it now is Ryan Murphy in his own zone. He'll start ahead. A lead pass for Victor Rask, negated by Dougie Hamilton, gained again by Murphy. He'll saddle it down low. Rask is out to play it. Zdeno Chara in the corner. Chipped along by Bergeron, back out. Gained by Falk. He'll send it in. And Rask again is out to play it. Under 2 minutes left in this third period. Through the center ice area, the Bruins now moving along. Daniel Paille, good speed. Fans on a pass. Defended by Justin Falk. Paille in front. Soderberg forked wide as Khudobin came hard at him. And it's brought out by Andrej Sekera. Sekera through center ice. In the zone. Moves up. Off a body. Off McQuaid. Turning. Malone. His shot swallowed by Tuukka Rask.
Soderberg is an older Swede. We haven't known him in the NHL for a while because he spent a lot of time in the Swedish Elite League. But he's a good one. Goes to the front of the net. He actually got drafted by the team that we'll see next Saturday, the St. Louis Blues. And look, we've seen the flexibility of Anton Khudobin. Does he make a save there? Probably not. but he practically made it impossible for Soderberg to score in that shooting position.
Jordan Staal against Patrice Bergeron. And Bergeron wins it back. Now Seidenberg. McQuaid deep in his own zone. On the wall, it's Krejci. Off a stick. Eric can't get to it. Seidenberg does. Here come the Bruins out to center ice. David Krejci over the line, moves up to the outside. Forced wide by Sekera. Louis Eriksson for Milan Lucic. He's wedged by Falk. Jordan Staal deep in his own zone. Can't make it happen. Here's a chance for Krejci. Holding. Delaying. David Krejci. Back of the goal now. Lucic with a shot. Oh, Hudobin got a glove to it. In control now, Eriksson. Across for Chara, by him and out. 50 seconds left in regulation time. Dougie Hamilton for Zdeno Chara. Over the line, they roll it in. Hainsey back for Carolina. Finished off by Lucic. Andre Sekera deep in his own zone. Along the wall, a force by Soderberg. He gets help from Eriksson. 32 seconds left. Sekera off a skate. Captured by Victor Rask. Here come the Hurricanes. Victor over the line. Cut. His shot wide of Tuukka Rask. All the way back to the point. Ron Hainsey holding on to it. Nathan Gerbe along the wall. Rolls it ahead. Knocked down by McQuaid. Seidenberg out of the reach of Chris Kelly. 12 seconds on the clock. This will be icing. And a face-off in the Boston zone.
John, sometimes you make saves without actually making a save. I showed one a second ago on Soderberg. Here he did on Krejci. Look at him move. Sometimes standing up, sometimes in the butterfly. And then it looked like he got just enough of it on the glove side as Krejci used the back of the net to finally find Lucic. Can't be sure, but I think he got just a piece with the glove. Both coaches do have their timeouts available here late.
Off the face-off, Skinner. Broken up. Played out of the zone by Seidenberg. At least an attempt. 3 seconds left. And this one will go to sudden death overtime. A grinding affair with quality goaltending on both sides of the ledger. Anton Hudobin for Carolina, Tuukka Rask for Boston. Each team has secured 1 point in the standings. Patrick Dwyer for Carolina. That man, Patrice Bergeron for Boston. They scored in regulation. Let's see who gets it done in OT next. We're back here in Raleigh. The line this afternoon, Patrick Dwyer with a first period goal. Patrice Bergeron, a second period tally. Anton Hudobin. Tell you what, he stood around for a long while in the first period, only 17 saves. Well, he's been great. Tuukka Rask has been too. And Claude Julien, right now, his team on the outside of the playoff mix. 5 points out of third, 3 out of a wild card. Bill Peters is just looking for more building blocks, coming off a 2-1 win over Philadelphia here on Friday night as we get to overtime.
Claude Julien has said in the last several days that his team is much more confident in overtimes than they are in shootouts. So I expect now that they have a point in the bank, a full court press, and the Hurricanes have gotten more comfortable in 4-on-4 hockey as the season has gone along.
We switch ends. The overtime is sponsored by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina. Live for the game and live fearless. Winding it up is Torrey Krug through the middle of the ice. Brad Marchand over the line, holding on for Boston. Marchand detected by Justin Falk. It goes deep for Paille. Marchand in back of Hudobin. Takes it to the outside. Bergeron leaves it for him. Stopping and starting is Brad Marchand. A winder tip just wide off the stick of Daniel Paille. It was early in overtime yesterday in Boston. Bobby Ryan got the goal for Ottawa, and the Bruins gave away a point. They are in a position with the same situation here against a hungry Carolina team. Gerbe to the outside. Back it goes. Hainsey now. He'll negotiate one for Nathan Gerbe. Here it comes. Hung on to by Tuukka Rask.
I like watching the plays that guys make up top. It's usually stopping and starting and quick stick handling to get pucks through, because you look at where the league has come in players getting in the shooting lanes, and Hainsey got that puck through, but the shot came to the outside. Prior to that, Marchand, who had given the Bruins the lead before Ottawa tied it and Bobby Ryan won it, he did an excellent job of getting it through for an early chance in the Carolina end.
So Marchand will take a seat. Jordan Staal will face off against David Krejci. Set again. And the face-off won by Krejci, but it's a false start. So they'll do it one more time.
And this is backhand power versus backhand power in the face-off circle. Just the matchup Carolina wanted at the start of the day. Stahl against Krejci.
Off the draw, Murphy touches back for Ron Hainsey. Arister blocked. Murphy got it back off a stick. Getting to it for the Bruins is David Krejci. Krejci in control away from Eric Stahl. Zdeno Chara. Underneath it, Dougie Hamilton. Now, Milan Lucic. Through the middle of the ice, kicked along by Ron Hainsey, right to the captain. Here comes Eric over the line, looking for Ryan Murphy, kicked out with a purpose by Tuukka Rask. Out of the corner now, out of that scrum. Chara wraps up Eric Stahl. Lucic in control for Boston. At his side, Dougie Hamilton. Hamilton will settle it down through the middle of the ice. Corralled by Ryan Murphy. 3:30 left in OT. Stretch pass at Skinner in the zone, offside. Jordan Stahl.
Andy McKelman was down on his knees. He's on the far side, but was down on his knees to make that call of offsides. We'll watch here. There's the puck. Boy, is that close. McKelman is on the right side of your screen. He was down on his knees. That looked to be very, very close. Other than being a little bit of a ways away on the other side, McKelman was down as low as you could be to try to make the right call in that case.
McClement wins the face-off away from Chris Kelly. That much time left. 4-on-4. Overtime hockey. Lindholm. Seidenberg. McClement on him. Turning back is Louis Eriksson. And is Seidenberg for Boston. Carl Soderberg this way. Out to center. Nice job by Eriksson to get control. Louis Eriksson in the center zone, pestered by Jeff Skinner. A loose puck, and on it is Elias Lindholm. Lindholm circling back for Carolina. Lead pass for Sekera. Andre Sekera over the line. Now Skinner dancing. Jeff Skinner muscled on the way through. All over him was Daniel Paille. Skinner digs it out of the corner. Jeff Skinner tries to make it happen. A shot. It's blocked in front by Seidenberg off the stick of Justin Falk. Carried out by Carl Soderberg over the line. Back pressure Lindholm. Here come the Hurricanes. Skinner with Lindholm. Lindholm for the front. And they go to the corner. Torrey Krug ahead of Skinner. Boston has control. They start over. A steal, maybe. We'll see. Ryan Murphy had it, lost it, broken up. Paille, he turns it over. Anticipating Gerby. Nathan Gerby dances, walks in front. Off Rask, it's loose, dug out. Brad Marchand got to it. Marchand in back of the goal, Dangles holding on to it off the boards. Murphy moves up a beautiful keep. Broken up here by Marchand. Here come the Bruins. It's Patrice Bergeron. Bergeron over the line. Stops. Lays it off a stick off the pad of Hudobin. Hainsey now. His option. He finds Victor Rask. Away go Carolina. Rask broken up by Bergeron. A lead pass on the transition. Big Lucic over the line. Holds onto it. Out in front in the skates of Riley Smith. Lucic. Grab chance. Here it is. What a play. Nathan Gerby. Patrice Bergeron. Hamilton gets to it. Dougie Hamilton for Lucic. Bergeron, one more time, a tip. Hudobin said no to the glass. It goes. Dougie Hamilton for Boston. $1:27 left. Here in overtime. Out of the corner, Hamilton, peppered by Gerby. Lucic to the outside, holding onto it. Milan Lucic cranks it up. Here's Riley Smith. Here it comes denied by Victor Rask. Now Bergeron in control for Boston. He'll float it along off a glass support. Getting to it, Riley Smith. Great play. Victor Rask coming back defensively. Rask taken down. No call. They move it along. We'll see. Both parties go. Both boys go here, Trip.
You see 3-on-3. Wouldn't that be great? Nathan Gerby, John, you mentioned the play he made. He actually wanted to get off the ice. And he had to stay on. And so he was already exhausted. That tells you about his compete, that he can get back and make the type of play coming up right here. What a play, because he had to be exhausted. What a stick play. What a stick play on Bergeron, and a legal one at that. And this is after he was on his toes to cause the turnover. A little bit of an inside lane on Torrey Krug. And we finally have a timeout call today, the first one through just about 64 minutes.
Okay. Everybody will collect their thoughts now, and a much-needed break for Nathan Gerby. Matching penalties called here with 63 seconds left. As you see the parties in the penalty box, Victor Rask for Carolina and Riley Smith taking a seat for Boston. Tuesday night, will be in Music City. The Canes will take on the Nashville Predators. Right now, one of the great stories in the NHL. It'll start on Sports South with Hurricanes Live at 7:30.
Bill Peters talking about 3-on-3 hockey because I'm not sure we've seen it before this season in Carolina. This could be, it's certainly the first time I remember an overtime. And so he's talking about responsibilities between Falk and Sekera, of course, two partners that'll play with Jordan Staal in this scenario. Krejci, Marchand, and Krug.
So it's interesting because Carolina goes with 1 forward, 2D, and Claude Julien goes with 2 forwards, 1D.
You know why I think he's doing it? Like I said earlier, Claude Julien knows his team is not confident in the shootout right now. He wants to win this in overtime. That's why he's going with 2 forwards.
David Krejci, Jordan Staal, 63 seconds left. Off the draw, Krug holding, looking for a lane. Krejci to the outside, good stick by Falk. Marchand, Sekera in a battle. A steal, Jordan, one man back, it's Krug. Sekera joins the fun. Jordan delays. Andre Sekera will settle it down. Falk up top, they stretch it out. Here's Jordan. Sekera on his backhand. Cradles, walks, turns with it. Off a body, defended well by Torrey Krug. They outnumber that though. Jordan broken up by Brad Marchand. He'll float it across for Torrey Krug. 25 seconds left in overtime. David Krejci through center ice. Moving away from Eric Staal. To the outside he goes. They walk it. To the outside, holding on to it, Lucic. He went down. Turning with it, Krejci. Hamilton delays. It goes wide. 8 seconds on the clock. Krejci, Lucic, Hamilton's out in front. Centering off the paddle of Hudobin. A foot race. Held in by Hamilton. We go to shootout.
On the Boston side, no game-winning goal here. On the Boston side, we began the day talking about Dougie Hamilton's production as a young defenseman, along with Torrey Krug. He had a key play, working it down low on the only goal Boston scored. And I don't know, coming up, in that 3-on-3 portion, I don't know how Doug Hamilton shot. Didn't get through. He had the grade A chance. And we'll take a look at it. Really jumped in seamlessly throughout the afternoon. Does Falk get a piece of it?
I think he did.
Does it graze Lucic? I mean, that's the game on your stick. But did Hudobin get a piece with his blocker?
Yep. He was just there, and he got a piece of it possibly on the way through, just grazed him. And it went wide, and now we get to the shootout. And as you point out, as both goaltenders go back to where they should be after trading ends just for overtime. Boston has had not a lot of success with this, and Carolina over the years, they've had their struggles too.
Is Carolina going to change it up? Chris Terry usually goes third. It looks like he's going to go first, so to try to set the tone early, he's been the guy that's had the most success. So this is a change up here, John, to try to really score that first goal.
Shootout sponsored by Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. Live for the game, live fearless. Shooter number 1, Chris Terry on Tuukka Rask. Losing control. No chance.
And I have to tell you, former Hurricane Dennis Seidenberg just gave me a look. What just happened? Well, you know what happened? I think he was out of his comfort zone. He likes to watch the first and second shooter and see what they do. He was uncomfortable going first, and unfortunately it showed.
Riley Smith, and he's been pretty good. 3 out of 9 in his career. Riley Smith, walk in on Anton Hudobin, shooter number 1 for Boston. Anton Hudobin comes up big.
Well, Hudobin's going to know a lot of these Boston shooters because he was a Bruin, but I don't think he ever played with Smith because Smith came from the Dallas Stars organization, the Sagan trade. Patience forces him to show his hand first. Riley Smith, good stop.
Jeff Skinner now will attempt to settle that puck down and get a quality chance off on Tuukka Rask and test the former Vezina Trophy winner. Here comes Skinner, and it goes wide.
John, I think shooters can work east-west and change their angle more. I talked to David Marcoux, Carolina's goalie coach, about it before the game, because then it gets a goalie thinking about where he is in the net. if you work both sides of the ice. So by the time you shoot her deep, he doesn't know if his ankle's right or not.
He's a defenseman, but he has tremendous puck skills. 50% shooter lifetime. Torrey Krug, shooter number 2. It goes well high as he got underneath it.
There was a lot of loopy, zigzagged action there from Krug. And I think that Khudobin did a fine job of trying to stay as quiet as he could. And there really wasn't a lot it would appear to shoot at.
Been quite a week for Eric Staal. The 4-game point streak will come to an end, but the captain looks for the opportunity to bust in on Raskin. He gets it done. Eric Staal scores in the shootout, and the Canes have a 1-goal lead.
John, this is a heck of a reward, riding a guy who's your hottest scoring player, because Eric Staal typically does not go in the shootout. So this is going with the hot hand by Bill Peters, and right now could have won him the game.
Patrice Bergeron, if Khudobin stops it, that's it. And he will! Carolina gets it done!
Boy, high marks to the staff, the coaching staff, for going with Eric Staal. I'm going to have to look at the last time he went in a shootout. It's been a long time. His hands feel better. He's more confident. He's been the guy that's been finding the back of the net the most. You're not going to find a captain, a guy that wants the game on his stick, that doesn't want to go in the shootout. So Eric gets that chance, beats Tuukka Rask cleanly. And Anton Khudobin, in one heck of a goaltending battle, beats Bergeron, his former teammate, who he went to a Stanley Cup final with, and he beats Tuukka Rask at the other end in what was an excellent afternoon battle. Real good game. The patience that Khudobin showed, I think, on all 3 Boston shootout contestants was very noticeable, his biggest common thread.
So we will wait for the 3 stars here this afternoon. What was a very entertaining game. And the number 3 star here tonight, or today I should say, is Jordan Staal in the shootout victory. Second star goes to the Boston side of things. And the first star this afternoon is Anton Khudobin against his former team. And coming up big in overtime, coming up even larger in the shootout as the Hurricanes get the extra point in the standings on this day. And Anton Khudobin has a seat next to Chantal McCabe.
Thank you, John. Anton, go ahead, grab a sip of water. Your first start against your former team. Of course, it goes to a shootout. What were your emotions leading up to the game?
Well, they're the same team that we're playing against other teams on the ice. So try to focus on my game and try to focus what I can do and how to stop the puck. Pretty much it.
The first period was an exciting one. Your team came out smothering the Bruins. What did you like best about your team's effort in the first?
Well, we came up with speed, a lot of speed, and we knew that they're playing back-to-back. So we try to dictate our game, but they took a play that really, really good for them and keep them just only 1-0.
In both wins now, the 4th line comes up with the first goal of the game. How critical and important and valuable is that trio?
Well, it's always like that, and when game 1-1 and our guys just keep pushing, it's always critical.
How much energy and excitement is in the locker room right now?
I wasn't there yet, sorry, so whenever I go there, I'll tell you.
All right, thanks, Anton. Congratulations on the win. Back to you, John.
Thank you, Chantel. An arousing win. It's got to feel good for Anton Khudobin against his former team. That's how you have to start at home. Brad Malone got it done early. Patrick Dwyer had the first period tally. Absolutely great first period for the Hurricanes. Answer from Patrice Bergeron, and then we grinded along all the way through. Great defensive play by Nathan Gerbe in the late stages, and the captain comes through in the shootout. Hurricanes Live, the post-game edition, comes your way next. Carolina 2, Boston 1.